All right, it's been a couple weeks since I filmed that footage of sighting in the rifle. And as you could see, I had some great accuracy potential there with several shots going into the same hole. So a week or two later, I took the rifle out to the range at 100 yards.
Oh, that right there was the kit, wasn't it? Yeah.
Where you going? I know, but which one you choose right now?
You're all over. I'll see you.
And really hope to get some good groups at 100 yards as well. I don't know if it was me that day or what was going on, but I really did not shoot well that day. And my best group was 1.71 inch 3-shot group at 100 yards with the Tikka T3X Lite 270 short mag. So here's my groups. I'm really not proud of this, but as you can see, the group in the middle here was 1.71 inches, and then we had 1.72. And on this group, I really thought I did great trigger pulls on these two shots, and they're touching there. And then the third one I pulled off. And I can guarantee you it's me pulling, anticipating recoil and stuff. So that's something I'm working on, but I was not doing good with it in this shooting on this day. And then I don't know if this is my last group or the second to last group, but 2.82 inches. And so I was a little bit frustrated at that point. I figured it was me because when I did really good trigger pulls, I got the two holes together. So just a really bad day of shooting for me, unfortunately. And again, that's with the 130 grain Federal Trophy Copper rounds. So I had ordered the Bell & Carlson Stock. And also a aluminum bottom metal trigger guard from High Desert Rifle Works. And so I went ahead and installed those on the rifle. I don't think that it's necessarily helping the rifle shoot better, but it'll at least help me shoot better with the rifle. This is what the rifle looks like now. The Bell & Carlson Stock added a little bit of weight. It wasn't much though. I think it was like 6 ounces. I'll get you a weight here in a second. But the Bell & Carlson Stock comes with a Pachmayr recoil pad. And honestly, I can't remember if I had to pay extra to upgrade that or if it came standard. I think it came standard because from what I recall, I paid $340 for this stock. And I'm really happy and impressed with the feel of this stock. It's the green with the black splatter. I don't care for this being all shiny with the black splatter, but it feels great. It's very stiff, and I think it fit really well. I didn't have to do anything really to make it fit in. It just slid right in nice and tight with tight tolerances. So that's what the rifle looks like now with the stock. And then we've got the bottom metal here, the aluminum bottom metal that matches the stainless steel action and barrel fairly closely. It's almost perfect. Probably looks about perfect in the video. It fit perfectly as well. It looks really good to me, especially in person. It fit really well, and it's nice and tight and solid. And so I like the feel of the rifle a lot more. I'm gonna weigh it real quick. So as it is right now, no sling, no ammo, the Leupold 3HD 4.5 to 14 scope with the zero lock, And the Bell & Carlson Stock, it's 7 pounds, 15 ounces. And honestly, on a Magnum, I think this is like the perfect weight. It's not too heavy. The balance is a lot better actually now with a little bit slightly heavier stock than with the factory stock on it. Because with this not being a fluted barrel, it was just slightly front heavy, but now it's like perfect. The balance is excellent. So I'm very happy with the purchase of the stock. And I think it looks great, it feels great. It's free floated perfectly. And I did this, you know, I installed this myself, and then everything just slid in with perfect tolerances. So I was very happy with that, and I think I'll probably be buying more of the Bell & Carlson stocks in the future, so for some of my other rifles. But, so it looks great, feels great, handles great, balance is great. And now let me show you my target from today. All right, so it's a little bit busy here, but this is my sight in. I had to re-sight it in because of mounting the action into the new stock, and then I torqued it down. You know, I think it's 45 inch-pounds. So I had to re-sight in, but I was starting to see some promise here again. This is at 100 yards. So this here is 3 or 4 shots, and it's 0.53 inches. But that's just with me sighting in. And then, let's see, I got some other shots down here with a different gun, so just disregard that. That's a 270 Mauser, an old rifle that I was messing around with. So, let's see. After I let it cool down, this was the first 3-shot group, and that is 0.48 inches, 3-shot group. And I did have my chronograph out there. I got one of the Garmin 01s or whatever they're called. And so I got a velocity with that 24.3 inch barrel of the Tikka of 3,294 feet per second on the average. So that's excellent velocity. It's a little bit higher than the book velocity or the box velocity, which was 3,280. So that gives me just a tiny little bit of an advantage on the maximum point blank range, but it isn't much. Anyway, so I got the 0.48 inch group, and that's probably the best group I've ever shot, 3-shot group I've ever shot with a high-powered rifle. So really happy with that. It is a little high, but I'll probably be shooting it more and probably adjusting it even higher. And seeing where my groups are consistently going, because I want to be about 3 inches high at 100 yards. Anyway, so this was my second 3-shot group, which wasn't as good, but it was still better than what I was doing with the factory stock and everything on it, which is 1.42 inches. And then I shot a third group up here, and you can just see the top hole there, bottom of the top hole, one of the holes. Everything else went off paper, but I should be able to roll into a picture. I was able to get a measurement on that one, which was 0.50 inches, so another half-inch group. So what I was really looking for in this rifle project is a rifle that is my go-to rifle. Since I gave my Tikka T3X 6.5 Creedmoor to my son after he shot his elk with it, I wanted to get another Tikka, and something that's light, something that's accurate and reliable and consistent, that I can shoot, about on the average 1-inch groups like I was with my Tikka, and sometimes better, sometimes a little worse, right? But something that's consistent. And I'm getting some half-inch groups with this, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then with it having high velocity, I'll be able to reach out, out to 400 yards with virtually no holdover on a big game animal, just shooting in the top of the kill zone at that range, because the drop, if I sight in 3 inches high, is approximately 6.7 to 7 inches low at 400 yards. And at the max height, it's 4 inches high. A big factor that I've realized, or a significant factor with maximum point blank range, is your sight over bore. So Most of the ballistics calculators have 1.5 inch over bore, so the center of your scope or the center of your bore is about 1.5 inches. But if you go up to 2 inches, so if you have a slightly higher rings, which is contrary to what everybody says, right? You want your rings, you know, your scope to be as low as possible. But for maximum point blank range, when you have a 1/2 inch higher, it gives you a little bit of an advantage. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm going for. We'll see if it proves to be a good idea or not. I'm still learning and experimenting, obviously. But so that covers the groups that I shot with it. So I have purchased several of the boxes of the trophy copper. I'm probably going to be buying more, so I'll have plenty to practice with and feel really confident with this rifle. Oh, one extra thing that I did was I went in, since I had the action out of this factory stock, I went ahead and lowered the poundage on the trigger. I watched a YouTube video put out by Tikka. It's super easy to do. You just turn one screw, like a 1/4 turn or something. So I did that, and it went down to 2.5 pounds trigger pull, which is, it's as light as I want to go for a hunting rifle for sure, but it's helping me shoot the better groups, I think. So all in all, I am super happy with the rifle and how it's turning out. I will mention that I am not the hugest fan yet of this scope. I was at 100 yards on 14 power today, and the focus was a little off. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I always constantly have to adjust this eyepiece here to get the right focus at different magnifications. So I don't know if that's standard with these, but I was expecting something a little more and hoping for something a little more easy and easier to use and user-friendly. But it is what it is. I think this targets were in the light, the sunlight today, and it was super bright, and it was like, you know, whiting things out a little bit. So that was probably contributing to part of it, which might mean that, you know, in low light conditions at dusk and dawn, I'll be able to pick up more light at higher magnification than with other scopes. But I'll continue to use it. I was just a little bummed because it's the most expensive scope I've ever bought at like $600. And I was just expecting a little more clarity and ease of use. I've got as I mentioned before, the Leupold VX-3HD 4-12 by 40. I got a couple of them, and they're super clear at different magnifications, up to 12 power. So if all else fails, I might put one of those on here, but I do like the idea of having the zero lock. Speaking of which, I do now need to re-zero it for where I'm sighted in so that the zero lock will work. And so I got to figure out how to do that with this rifle. But I've yapped enough, but hopefully this will be my go-to rifle for pretty much anything going forward. I like that it's stainless steel, it's accurate, it's light, it's handy, it's reliable and smooth action, and feeds fairly well, especially for a Magnum cartridge. All that said, thank you very much if you've watched this far. I know I tend to yap and not put as much fun footage in there, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is Mr. Brewer, Fish, Bucks, and Bullets, checking out. Oh yeah, if you enjoy the content, please like the video and subscribe for more content like this coming forward. Thanks and have a great day.